Hey, what's up guys, and welcome back to askNK. Today we have some interesting news for you guys, and this is coming from the folks at Blender, and it is not the fact that Blender landing page is different, which is really cool, but it's the fact that Apple now joins the Blender Development Fund. How cool is that? So if you click on this link, it takes you right over to this blog where you can just read about it. Right here, you literally just see that they're now part of it. Apple will be providing engineering expertise and additional resources to Blender HQ and development community to help support Blender artists and developers. And that is what you get. I mean, if you're just reading the blog, this is what you get. Very Apple-like, simple, straightforward, and secretive. All right, and of course we've also seen Adobe being part of the development fund. And if you go over to the development fund section, I don't know if maybe this hasn't been updated yet, but of course you cannot see Apple right here within the tier. And we've already seen a couple of companies come through, you know, beautiful guys, but then I did go through, I couldn't see anything, but there's always one place you get to find some of these updates. So if you take a look, you know, like right here, you won't see any of them, but right over here on Twitter, you can see the Blender handle tweet that today Apple joins the Blender Foundation's development fund as corporate patron members, and they say welcome. And this is beautiful. So you can already see like lots of tweets. Actually, let's do that. Let's retweet this. It's cool. Everybody should get in. And it has been in making for a while, says Ton. And I'm proud to share this news today. macOS will be back as a complete supported Blender platform. Thanks, Apple. And they have already, you know, in the spirit of development, they've already submitted the first official patch. So right now, if you go over here, you can see Cycle's metal device. So you can also come through and read up on these ones and get some very cool stuff from this. So lots of nice things coming over to the folks at Blender Foundation. And of course, we're also going to go ahead and talk more about these things. There's a huge set of updates that you guys should be checking in on that will be coming at the end of the week. But of course, this is a quick one, and you can already see that the UI, or the landing page, actually not the UI, you can see that landing page for Blender, blender.org looks new. Right here you can see it says freedom and open source, the partners and people that they are working with within the industry. You can also see that there's a section where they make a provision to, you know, sort of appreciate them, and you can see AMD, Intel. You can also see some of the things that the designers, developers, engineers, artists, and everyone that is working with Blender is sharing right here. And this looks really cool. I'm actually happy about the landing page, but despite that, I am even way more happy that Apple now joins Blender Development Fund. So now they did say right here that they are within the corporate patron members. So that simply puts them right about here. All right, so that puts them right about here. Corporate patron members puts them right about here. Maybe these guys may want to update themselves to put themselves here. So Apple supports for Blender, or Blender supports for Apple. Supports are not going to be happening. So if you're working with an Apple device, a Mac, or maybe you just want your MacBook, or you're working with an iMac, possibly you will be getting some pretty good updates very soon. So this is pretty nice. There's lots of communication going right here, lots of people saying beautiful stuff, and I'm particularly happy about this one. So if you would like to read more about this, I'm going to put a link that will lead you down in the description where you can check it out, and you can also see some of the things that might be coming to 3.0 within this section. One of them is kernel changes requirements to compile for MSL, which is a metal shading language, and you can also see some other ones that are yet to be ticked. So lots of cool things coming over to Blender folks right now. So if you want to check out some of these things, maybe you want to read more about them, or maybe you would like to also read more about the previous guys, and you might also want to come through and check out some of the supporters. Like we've seen some very impressive ones right here. This would be nice. Me would like to see this. All right, I would like to actually see this where we can get Blender mobile. All right, this might just be from like it might just be a crazy idea, but if we can get Blender mobile, that might be nice. I do own an iPad. Lots of people own powerful devices as well, like an iPad Pro. So maybe we can get Blender for iPad, who knows? The folks at Blender Foundation alongside with the folks at Apple, they can make this thing work, and hopefully we can start getting that mobile application that we've always wanted to play with. Of course it is possible. I know for sure these folks can make it happen because all of these Patron guys, they've actually improved Blender one way or the other. We did see Hydra, of course, and of course we've seen a couple of talks from Facebook. We are seeing some updates coming from these guys as well. We've seen a lot of updates come from these guys, and USD support right here. So it simply means that if Apple is going to join themselves here, they would not only give engineering support, they might also help to develop Blender in some sort of way. And for me particularly, I'm looking at the option where we will be getting an iPad version of Blender. I mean, it doesn't matter if it's just going to be restricted to iPad Pro, but having an iPad version of Blender will definitely be nice so that you can take advantage of the huge performance that you have with your iPad Pro and also with the Apple Pencil. Now imagine sculpting on the go. That is definitely going to be something lots and lots of people would love to do. And instead of buying all them third-party sculpting tools, you can just have a software that does everything. And I don't know about the rendering capability of the iPad Pro, but then just having Blender, you know, having to be able to model wherever you are at any point, sculpt wherever you are at any point will just be super nice. So this is my 2 cents about it. Apple is now part of Blender Foundation, and not just part of Blender Foundation, they are part of the development fund. So this is more like it. Simply come through, check these things out yourself, read up on this, and also go over to Twitter and follow up with the conversation right there. And by the way, did I mention that I'm actually happy about this new landing page? Yeah, it looks really nice. I'm excited about it. 3.0 as well is coming in hot, and of course it's very interesting to see that maybe we would start getting some very good improvements for the Mac users that will be using Apple, and that would actually make Blender a 3-way system that actually works a lot, because we already know that it works perfectly for both Linux and also for Windows, and that would be very nice to see, or it will be very nice to see that we can get this to work for Mac and work for Mac really well. So shout out to the folks at Apple for jumping in and actually, you know, putting a helping hand to make sure that the folks working with their devices can actually work with Blender well. And of course, a huge shout out to the folks at Blender Foundation for also making this possible. Tell me what you guys think about this one in the comment section. Simply keep your eye open and follow up with the subsequent updates for Blender that will be coming at the end of the week. And of course, if you like this video or you learned something from this, you can go ahead and give a like, and don't forget to share with a friend. And if you're new here, it's going to be amazing for you to hit the subscribe button and also turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or the next update. And until I see you guys in the next one, peace.